afternoon. We are again presented today for the Pavement Conference for Goods and Services under invitation to bid number 2024-007. Only one contract. We are live via YouTube in compliance to Department Order number 06 series of 2024, which direct us to stream activities like this for accountability and transparency of procurement processes. Before we proceed, may I request the Secretariat to please acknowledge those who are present for today.
Good afternoon, everyone. Acknowledge the presence of our back chairperson, Engineer Ako.
Present.
Our back vice chairperson, Engineer Davao. Present. From the back members, we have here our back regular member, Engineer Leslie Budito. Present. Provisional members, Engineer Jeffrey C. Salmon.
Present.
And provisional member, Charlene Libuchin. We also have here our OIC head from the unit, Engineer Paul Calinos. From the DPWH presented by Engineer Alaron C. Alagon. And also our end user, Engineer John Carlo Vitagapa. Sir.
Thank you. Since with the majority of the back members present, I hereby declare a quorum and call this meeting to order. We have basic agenda for this activity. 1A, basic contract data, requirements of bidding documents, and documents to be submitted by the bidders. 1B, criteria and procedure for eligibility check. 2, question comments from bidders. Reply to back of other representatives of procuring entity. 3, other matters, prescribed policy against violation of section 69.1.I, attire of RE 9184, number 4, summary of proceedings, including supplemental with bulletins to be issued. Any motion to adopt this agenda?
I move to adopt the present agenda.
I second the motion.
It's been moved by Engineer Donna Rubin, as seconded by Engineer Pisano. Sa no objection, the motion to adopt this agenda is hereby approved. Okay. First in the order of business is the explanation of the basic contract data, and this will be presented to us by Engineer Carlton Carlton from the maintenance section.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chair. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon to viewers. Contract ID 24GLI 0017. The PR number 2024-06-055, dated June 21, 2024. Contract name, supply and delivery of pavement marking Kneader with machine-driven marking applicator and thermoplastic applicator for maintenance of national roads and bridges. Contract location, Davao de Oro. Brief description of goods to be procured. Pavement marking Kneader with machine-driven pavement marking and thermoplastic applicator. Approved budget for the contract 3,020,000 pesos. Source of funds, routine maintenance CY 2024. Delivery date of goods 10 calendar days. Cost of bid documents 5,000. That would be all, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Engineer Tagupa, for information of the projects to be procured by interested bidders. Okay, next order of business is the requirements of bidding documents, and this will be presented to us by Engineer Calinos.
Good afternoon, everyone. Participate and qualify in our procurement activity, interested bidders are encouraged to read the following documents. 1. Instruction to bidders. 2. Bid data sheet. 3. General conditions of the contract. 4. Special conditions of contract. 5. Schedule of requirements. 6. Technical specifications. 7. Bill of quantities. 8. Securities and other forms as may be required for the contract. Bidders are strongly advised to read each provision, especially the instruction to bidders and general conditions of the contract, whose special instructions are clearly spelled out in the bid data sheet and special conditions of the contract, respectively. Bidders are also encouraged to check the bill of quantities so that your bid will be responsive to the requirements set forth in the bidding documents. These documents can be downloaded free of charge from the PhilJEBs and DPWH websites. Interested bidders shall pay the applicable amount for the bidding documents not later than the submission of your bids. That's all, Mr. Chair.
Okay, thank you for discussing these documents. Next in the order of business is the documents to be submitted by the bidders, and this will be discussed to us by Dardy.
Good afternoon, everyone. For the documents to be included by the interested bidders in the bid, the technical component of the bid, API or SEC registration, layers permit, statement of ongoing and similar completed government and private contracts, audited financial statement, stamp or receipt for the DIR, income tax return of the preceding year filed and paid through the BIR electronic filing and payment system or the EFES. The computation of net financial contracting capacity, tax clearance, the PhilJEB certificate under platinum membership, the bid security in the prescribed form, technical specifications, production or the delivery schedule, warranty certificate if applicable. Also the brochures of the offered equipment if applicable. Omnibus statement in accordance with the GPPB resolution and the Secretary Certificate and Board resolutions if applicable. For the financial component of the bid, it includes the bid form and duly signed bid prices in the bid of quantities. Please be reminded that the following documents, the Omnibus source statement, bid form, bid security declaration, if you opt to use this type of bid security, should be in a standard format as per guidelines of GPPB resolution number 16-2020. Kindly check the format of the documents you're using to avoid being declared non-responsive or so on for using the unprescribed format. And this document should be submitted using the tools system. Bidders are urged to fasten the documents at the topmost portion instead of hard binding or soft binding them. Each document should be tagged appropriately. It should be based on the document submitted, not on the number according to the checklist. There shall be 3 copies for this document: the original copy, the copy 1, and the copy 2. Original copies of the technical component of the bid shall be sealed on one envelope, and original copies of the financial component of the bid shall be sealed on another envelope. This envelope should be labeled as original copy of the technical component and original copy of the financial component. Then this labeled envelope shall be then sent in one final envelope labeled as original copy of the bid. The same process for the copies 1 and 2. And lastly, original copy, copy 1 and copy 2 of the bid shall be sealed into one final envelope and label it appropriately as instructed on the bidding documents. Bidders are urged to read Section 15 of Instruction to Bidders, page 14, to fully understand the sealing and markings of the bid. Submit your bids personally here at DPWH, 2nd De Oro, located at DPWH First Engineering District, on or before July 25, 2024, 9 a.m. Late bids will not be accepted. Further, on your bid form and bill of quantities, we request you to please write rigidly the discrepancies between the bid prices in words and in figure. The words will prevail. Bids not addressing or providing, filling out all the required items in the bidding documents, such as in the bill of quantities, the bid is considered non-responsive and is outright disqualified. May we request you to please always check your document before submitting the same to our end to avoid disqualification of your bids. That would be all, sir. Thank you.
Thank you for discussing the documents to be submitted by the bidders. Okay. Next in the order of business is the 1D criteria and procedure for eligibility check, and this will be explained to us by Engineer Aladdin Alago.
The criteria for eligibility check are set forth in Section 23 of the Revised Implementing Rules and Regulation of RA 9184. All prospective bidders should have an updated Class A legal, technical, and financial documents and Class B documents if applicable. This documentation was already discussed a while ago. During the opening of bids, the first envelope which contains the technical component of the bid shall be opened. After opening the first envelope, the bank shall conduct preliminary examination of the technical components of the bids. Bidders who pass the preliminary examination of the technical proposal, their financial proposal will be opened. All open financial components of the bid shall also undergo preliminary examination. If passed, the committee will read the bid amount stated in the bid form. The bank shall immediately conduct a detailed evaluation of all bids using the non-discretionary criteria in considering, number 1, the completeness of the bid, and number 2, arithmetical corrections. Bid shall then be ranked in the ascending order of their total calculated bid prices, as evaluated and corrected for the computational errors and the other bids modification, to identify the lowest calculated bid. The lowest calculated bid shall undergo post-qualification in order to determine whether the bidder concerned complies with and is responsive to all the requirements and the condition as specified in the bidding documents pursuant to Section 34 of the Procurement Law. If found to be the responsive, the bidder will declare lowest/single calculated responsive bid and will be recommended for award of the contract. If found to be non-responsive, the committee will conduct post-qualification to the next lowest calculated bid rank during the bid evaluation stage. The entries of the original copy of the Bill of Quantities or BOQ shall be handwritten and be limited to 2 decimal places only and shall be signed by duly authorized representative. Please take note that since this is under goods and services, we have no system yet for electronic submission. To mode of submission of your bids shall be done on manual submission only. The deadline of the submission of bids will be on or before July 25, 2024. The place of opening of the bids will be at DPWH Davao de Oro First Engineering Office, Nabotoran, Davao de Oro. That's all, Mr. Chair.
Thank you for that discussion. We are now through with Agenda 1 and we will proceed to Agenda 2. questions, comments from bidders, and replies of BAC and other representatives of procuring entity. Questions?
Answer po, sir.
If there are no questions, we will proceed to Agenda 3. Other matters, we strike policy against violation of Section 69.1.I of the RA 9184. And this will be discussed to us by Engineer Jeffrey Samo.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, viewers. In order to establish fair and transparent system for managing offenses committed by bidders in the procurement of infrastructure, goods, and consulting services project through a public bidding, the Department of Public Works and Highways hereby introduces an updated three-strike policy. This policy is aimed to enforcing adherence to the procurement guidelines stipulated under Section 69.1.I of 2016 Revised Implementing Rules and Regulation of Republic Act 9184. Under this policy, if a bidder commits three offenses acts describes as all other acts that tend to defeat the purpose of competitive bidding, they shall be subjected to an administrative penalty. These offenses acts are further classified into three major categories as enumerated below as per Department Order 28 Series of 2024. The classification of offenses that triggers to the three-strike policy and exceptions. 1. Withdrawal from bidding process. Submission of non-participation letter or failure to submit a bid after purchasing the bid documents. However, Bids and Awards Committee recognizes certain valid reasons for these actions. If a bidder, after reviewing the bidding documents and evaluating the availability of market options, determines that the required goods and supplies either are not available or that the available alternatives do not meet the specified technical specifications. Additionally, if providing the specified goods and supplies would require the bidder to incur costs exceeding the competitive and financially viable range, or if adherence to the specification would lead to a bid price that is not economically favorable, the bidder may withdraw. To validate this reason, the bidder should present an affidavit demonstrating that participating in the bid under this condition would be financially unsustainable. Number 2, submission of late bids without valid reasons. As determined by the BAC, exceptions will be considered under extraordinary circumstances, such as force majeure. This refers to unexpected and unavoidable internal events that impede or prevent a bidder from a timely bid submission, as defined in Article 1174 of the Philippine Civil Code. Number 3, submission of patently insufficient bid. A patently insufficient bid refers to a bid that fails to include or comply with certain mandatory requirements. Determination whether a bidder committed such an offense may occur as outlined below. During eligibility screening and or shortlisting, submission of an expired certificate of Philippine Government Electronic Procurement System registration, the platinum membership, or certified or a certificate of PhilJEP certification containing expired Class A legal and financial documents as determined during the eligibility screening. During bid evaluation, failure to submit required bid forms as outlined in Annex C detailing the complete list of required bid forms. submission of incomplete, insufficient, or defective documents due to the non-inclusion and or omission of mandatory provision and statements for the required bid forms as per Annex C outlining the mandatory provision of required forms. Submission of an notarized bid securing declaration, an omnibus sworn statement, a joint venture agreement or statement from all the potential joint venture partners with the exception during the declaration of state of calamity or implementation of community quarantine or similar restriction declared or being implemented either in the locality of the procuring entity or of the bidder. Submission of the bid forms, price schedules, bid securing declaration, omnibus sworn statement, and joint venture agreement without the name, legal capacity, and signature of the bidder or its authorized representative. Letter C. During post-qualification, participation in bidding for consulting services and goods and services contracts by a bidder whose business type category as indicated on the mayor's permit does not match or unrelated to the contract being bid for as determined during the post-qualification process. Number 3, enforcement and penalties. If a bidder commits any of the 3 major offenses, acts listed above 3 times within a year starting from approval date of the resolution, recommending the imposition of strike 1 is first warning, which is counted as day 1. Through these 365, and if these 3 offenses are of similar or identical nature, it will trigger the enforcement of stipulated administrative penalty. Suspension from participating in all DPWH procurement activity and entering into a contract with any DPWH procuring entity. Subsequently, as per the procedure outlined in Annex A, this may result in the blacklisting of the suspended bidder, thereby disqualifying the bidder from participating in any government procurement activities for a period of 1 year. In conjunction with blacklisting, the bidder will also face bid security forfeiture and must comply with the enforcement of the bid securing declaration conditions. In more severe instances, when the bidder commits another set of 3 similar offenses or more than 2 sets of 3 similar offenses, instances where more than 6 similar offenses occur within the said 1 year time frame, the bidder may be subjected to an increased penalty resulting into blacklisting for a period of 2 years. The effective duration for the penalty of the either 1 or 2 years is applicable. Will be clearly stipulated in the blacklisting order within the provision that the duration of blacklisting shall not exceed a maximum period of 2 years. Commencing on the date of blacklisting order is approved and issued by the Secretary. That's all, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Prospective bidders, be careful, instruction and comply to avoid that restrike policy. Okay. We'll now proceed to the last agenda, the summary of proceedings, including supplemental bid bulletin to be issued, and this will be presented to us by Engineer Livestream.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Good afternoon, everyone. All the needed information were discussed and explained by the resource persons. I would like to remind the prospective bidders to visit from time to time the DPWH and Project's websites
especially within 7 calendar days prior to the deadline of the submission of bids for supplemental or bid bulletins to be issued thereat. Please also be reminded that the opening of bids will be on July 25, 2024 at 10 o'clock p.m. That's all.
Thank you. All of the business in the agenda were already taken into consideration. May I know the pleasure of the body?
I move to adjourn this conference.
Okay, it is moved by Engineer Ronald Rubin and seconded by Shirley Bichi. And with no objection, the motion to adjourn this conference is hereby approved. This conference is now adjourned. Thank you, everyone.